By the way, I learned Mr. Correa is a very good golfer too.
Yeah. I wish I was very good at that. I enjoy it, but I don't know if you can call what I do golf. First of all, thank you all for being here again at the Summer Creek BizCom. It's a pleasure to have you here. I want to give you a quick report at the end of the school year. I put out a little Google Doc for my school to send me some information that they wanted me to present to you today. And it seemed to be a fine arts win, so I'm just going to get you ready for that. Our band earned a sweepstakes, earned a perfect one across the board when they competed in UIL, earned a complete one. Orchestra competed for the first time in UIL and once again also earned a 1 completely across the board, earning sweepstakes, so we were very excited about them, and that was their first time out. Our choir, here we go, TMEA All-State process, 17 students earned and placed in the TMEA Region 33 choir. 1 student earned a place in the TMEA All-State Treble choir. 152 students medaled and received medals in the event for UIL Solo and Ensemble Contest. 6 students qualified for the UIL Texas State Solo and Ensemble Contest. In UIL Concert and Sight Reading, Women's Chamber Choir earned sweepstakes, a superior rating. Varsity Combined Men's Choir earned a sweepstakes superior rating. Varsity Women's Choir, Choral Women earned a sweepstakes superior rating. Varsity Choral, Varsity Mix earned a sweepstakes. TMEA Texas Musical Scholars, 5 students earned this honor. The Booster Club Scholarship Award awarded 5 seniors college scholarships worth $750 each, and 3 voice lesson scholarships were awarded as well to those students, totaling $810. So congratulations to all of our fine arts program. They did a fantastic job. I'd also like to announce that at graduation, we graduated over 590 seniors on the 27th at NRG Stadium, so congratulations to all those seniors. And I want to thank you for supporting our project graduation. We had well over half of those students here, over 300 students attended our project graduation and had a fantastic time. Each of them walked away with a prize and award that night and had a great time here at Summer Creek. So thank you very much for supporting those students. Overall, we've had a great 3 years here. I want to talk a little bit about 2 things that are close. One is that you may have seen a rating that Summer Creek earned a D+. I want to address that because Summer Creek is not a D+. If you take a look at some of those ratings, it's all based on test scores. There are a lot of things that go into the accountability for test scores, and the other thing is that they're, at this point, 2 years old. So we've made a lot of gains at Summer Creek. I want to continue to ask for your support in the community to go out and relay that message that we are not a D+ school, and that we have great kids that work very hard here each and every day, as well as a staff that works to make sure that we educate our kids, that every kid that walks through that door. So please help me send that message out in the community to make sure that that's there. The other thing I want to let you know about is that next year there is a strong possibility that Summer Creek may drop to a 5A ranking in UIL next year. Because of the rezoning a year and a half ago, we lost 150 students this year. We're projected to lose about another 150 this coming year. With 1 feeder middle school, it makes it very difficult to keep those numbers up. We're hoping that when Middle School 9 opens up and we get back to 2 middle school feeders, that will work out well for us and start bringing up that number. But for now, this year, it may look like that's going to be a possibility when we do the count in October. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I don't think that's all bad. Currently, right now, we're in the 6A level, and we're one of the smallest 6A high schools competing at that level, so it's made it a little bit difficult. It would be nice if we're one of the largest 5A schools competing at that level rather than the other way. So it's either way that you look at it, so it may not all be a bad thing. But again, thank you all very much for supporting us, and I appreciate you for being here. Thank you, Mr. Gadd.
I'm not sure if Coach Ford had something to do with that. I bet he's pretty happy about that. So, okay, so the next person we're going to have is a little bit of different order this time, but as you know, Memorial Hermann does so many great things in our community, and they're one of our presenting sponsors. They have a new CEO, and his name is Josh Urban. Please give him a round of applause.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me here at BizCom. It is my first one, and so I look forward to being part of the program today and attending some of these events in the future. So with that, I have a couple of things to cover today. I want to do some updates and introductions about our hospital and tell you about some of the new and exciting things we have going on. So let me just start with some introductions. I'm going to skip myself for a moment here and tell you a little bit more about myself and my background here in a minute. But for some of you that don't know all of our executives at the hospital, I wanted to run through it quick. And first up is Noel Cardenas. He's actually with us here today, sitting at the table. He's our Chief Operating Officer. He's been with our hospital for a few years after spending a long time in the military and military healthcare operations. So Noel does a great job at our facility. Dr. Chris Langen there at the bottom of the page. He's actually an emergency medicine physician. He's our Chief Medical Officer. He's actually a Regional Chief Medical Officer, so he's the CMO at Memorial Hermann Northeast and Memorial Hermann The Woodlands. He's been in that role about 3 years, but he's worked with our system even longer, as he used to run the emergency medicine physician organization that contracts with our system. So that's Chris. So not only is he administrator, but he actually staffs in our ER on nights and weekends too. So he kind of has 2 jobs and works a lot of double time. Nikki Rue, our Chief Nursing Officer, has been with our system for many years, spent many years down at our hospital in the Texas Medical Center, and then a few years here at Memorial Hermann Northeast. And then Randy Reed, our Chief Financial Officer, been with our healthcare system 20 years, several years in corporate, about 12 at our Woodlands Hospital, and now is supervises not only finances at the Woodlands facility, but Northeast as well. So a little bit more about myself. I've been with our system for 17 years. Started at our corporate office and did some rotations through our corporate divisions. Started then my hospital career at our hospital in the Texas Medical Center. Was there for about 7 years. Then I moved to the Woodlands campus and been at the Woodlands for about 9 years. 6 of those as the Chief Operating Officer. Last 3 as the CEO. Then this January became the CEO of Memorial Hermann Northeast as well too. So now I have responsibility for both the Woodlands and Northeast campuses. A little bit more personal information. So married to my wife Tanya, she's up there on the screen. We've lived in the North Houston area for about 22 years. We've been married for 20. We met at a small liberal arts college in Pennsylvania called Franklin and Marshall College. I bet no one in here has heard of it. It's got 1,200 students. It's smaller than most Texas high schools. So it's where we met. She grew up in Pennsylvania. I grew up all across the country as my family moved around. Have a young 4-year-old son. His name's Locke. There he is up on family vacation and at school, so he's our pride and joy. So, little Mike, there we go, Mike went out. Okay, so that's a little bit about me. Let's talk about our hospital for a second. So, right, we've been around for 40 years now. So, 2017 is our 40th year anniversary. Opened back in 1977 and enjoyed serving the community ever since. And so, a lot of things to talk about at our hospital. Memorial Hermann became involved with our hospital about 10 years ago, so in 2007. And since then, there's been dramatic change at the facility. When Memorial Hermann took over the facility and we leased it back in 2007, not only was the hospital struggling financially, but it was not well known for quality and patient safety and customer experience. If I tried to show you a slide like I have up here today that talks about our great outcomes for all the different accredited bodies and agencies that rate and grade hospitals across the country, the slide probably would have been blank. And so the hospital has been on an incredible journey of improving quality and patient safety. Let me just highlight a few of those for you here today. So I think most people are familiar with the U.S. News and World Report. So last year our hospital received a couple great recognitions as the number 10 hospital in the Houston and Gulf Coast area and number 29 out of over 600 hospitals in the state of Texas. So we're very, very proud of that. A lot of hard work goes into the staff, from the staff and the medical staff to make that happen. Healthgrades, another national body that grades hospitals on a variety of metrics. You see Memorial Hermann Northeast was recognized last year, as well as many other Memorial Hermann hospitals recognized up there on the screen. So very proud of our Healthgrades recognition. Extremely proud of our Leapfrog scores. Leapfrog's, again, another national body that grades hospitals for patient safety, really how they staff and care for patients in their ICUs in particular. And they provide you grades like you get in school, A, B, C, D, and F. So we've gotten an A letter grade. Our hospital's been an A letter grade for the past 5 years, so that's super exciting. Our system, every hospital in our system is an A letter grade. There's not many other systems in the country that can say that, and you can look that up and see what some of our other hospitals around Houston, their letter grades are as well, so I encourage you to do that. So very, very proud of our Leapfrog scores. Also excited about some of our recognition from Living Magazine and the online surveys that happened. So not only did we get Best Hospital this year, Best ER, our therapy services received Best Therapy. We even won in a category that we're not technically eligible for, in Best Urgent Care, because they were really grading our ER, but we won as an urgent care, so we'll take that as well. Thank you for anyone that voted for us. We appreciate your votes. A lot going on at the campus, right? So I said Memorial Hermann's been involved with the campus for 10 years. We've leased the hospital for the first 9 years. We just purchased the facility just about a year ago, so that kicked off an exciting transition in our history. So not only did we purchase the hospital, but really then started to make some large investments. So there have not been a lot of capital investments in Memorial Hermann Northeast for a long, long time. Long overdue, and one of the first things we're doing is building a new tower rather. Just broke ground on that this past couple months. Picture of our groundbreaking ceremony last week that we held, and so very excited about that. We have 2 major towers on our campus, South Tower and Southwest Tower. Our South Tower is extremely old and outdated, so we're building a brand new tower, if you will. That's pictured right there, a rendering of it. What it looks like from what we call the McKay side. If you're familiar with the campus, if you drive in on McKay Street, that's what it's going to look like. It's a 5-story building, over 120,000 square feet. It's it's replacing 90 rooms that are in our old South Tower that I just referenced. So it's not necessarily adding beds. Our bed count remains the same at 255, but it really just renovates and modernizes our rooms for our patients and visitors. We'll also expand some food services and some ancillary support, and it's going to open in about a year and a half, which is fascinating. I've built several big buildings in my career through Memorial Hermann, and that's a really fast build for a 5-story patient tower. Another thing it will have is a shell floor, so we can add future beds over time as we continue to grow along with the demand here in the community. So very excited about our new tower. Now, in addition to the tower, we've got several other projects going on, one of which is the development of a Kingwood Convenient Care Center. Let me show you what that looks like here. So our rendering of what this 2-story building will look like. Site map of where it will be located in Kingwood. I think most people have probably heard about this already, but opens here pretty soon on September 5th. We have a big grand opening celebration the weekend of August 26th, so please put that on your calendars. Try to make it out there. Pretty cool facility. We've got about 6 or 7 of these in our system across the greater Houston area. Actually, the first one was built just up off Bell 8 here, Summer Creek. It's been remarkably successful. It's actually the most successful community care center in our system, so we're excited to build the second one. We call them convenient care centers. They got lots of things inside of them. A freestanding ER, which is a department of our hospital, outpatient therapy services, outpatient imaging, outpatient lab, and then primary care physician offices. So this one will be 2 stories, unlike the one right here up the street that's a single story, so 45,000 square feet. Very much looking forward to this. Like I say, it will be open here pretty soon for people if they need it. Another exciting thing is we added a medical office space on our campus, and so we're about to break ground here next month on a 4-story medical office building, 100,000 square feet. This is where we lease space to physicians to come practice on our campus, and all of our buildings are full today, so this is much needed. We're excited about that. We'll also expand some parking on our campus. We have a parking challenge today, as it's just not enough surface parking, so as part of this building, we're going to create some additional surface parking on our northern border of our campus. So we're very excited about this. Another fast build breaks ground this summer and open next summer, so we're already pre-leasing that one here as well. So with that, I know that was probably pretty quick and brief, but just wanted to take a moment to provide everyone some updates and kind of just mention personally how excited I am to be part of this community and part of this hospital. I look forward to getting to know many of the people in the room and working together to continue to advance this great community. So with that, I think we still have a little bit more time left. I'm going to introduce the second speaker from Memorial Hermann today. It's Kimber Bulk. She's a system director of our nurse triage hotline. I think she's got some information to share with you about this great resource and service that I don't think everyone usually is aware of. So Kimber, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, good afternoon. There was a study that was produced back in 2013 by the University of Texas Public Health. And it showed that 46% of patients treated and released from the emergency rooms were there for general care-related illnesses. Based on this data, which represents a consistent trend, the Memorial Hermann Hospital Nurse Helpline was established and designated to improve access to health care. It will make a more efficient use of health emergency rooms in Harris and surrounding counties. The goal of the program is to be a regional resource for citizens that can call and discuss their health concerns, receive recommendations on appropriate healthcare settings, and get connected to appropriate resources. The help is free. We offer bilingual staff and interpreter services. Calls are accepted from uninsured and insured individuals. It represents both urgent and non-urgent care situations. Callers without or with a primary care physician or with any hospital affiliation can use our service. Residents within the state of Texas Region 3 were the first area that we marketed. The nine counties within the region are Austin, Calhoun, Chambers, Colorado, Fort Bend, Harris, Matagorda, Waller, and Wharton. As you can see, the call volume for calendar year 2016 for this area was a little over 32,000 calls. The Nurse Helpline is staffed with registered nurses. They conduct telephonic assessments and give advice according to the urgency and needs as if they need to be seen by a healthcare provider. The nurses provide triage for pediatric and adult concerns. Registered nurses provide callers with health information, and they empower patients to care for themselves and come to prudent healthcare decisions. The nursing staff answer phones. They are bilingual. They come from diverse backgrounds, and they have a large variety of experience. All the nurses, again, are registered nurses. We also employ 6 community health workers that are available to give callers information of after-hours and sliding scale clinics, pharmacy locations, and transportation options. The community health worker also makes follow-up calls the next day on all triage services. These are some outcomes for calendar year 2016. As you can see, 72% of the people who called that said, I would have gone to the ER, were actually redirected to a primary care physician or home care. 97% of the people who call the Nurse Helpline follow our advice. 97% rate our service as excellent or good. And 99% say that they would use our service again. For the calls that are triaged, 70% of those have been directed to primary care, and 30% were directed to go to the emergency room. The non-triage calls, 48% are for health literacy information, navigation assistance, and 52% are just general information. These are some reasons that people call the Nurse Helpline. The adults are in the blue, and you can see the top 3 are abdominal pain, female symptoms, and chest pain. For the children, it's always fever, and then we get cough, cold, and vomiting. Thank you. Some fun facts. You can see that 17% of our patients that call are Medicaid, 21% are uninsured, 18% are in their 30s, and 27% are in their 20s. So our average caller is a 37-year-old female, and the females are 73% of the calls. Here's a picture of some of our staff members that are answering the phone. again, it's the Nurse Helpline, and our number is 713-338-7979. And when you're leaving, I brought some information, I brought some magnets on the table on the way out. There's also some hot cold packs, and these have our numbers on them. To put them in the refrigerator or put them in the microwave, whichever you need, hot or cold. The magnets can go in your refrigerator to call. And then I brought some items that you can stick on the back of your phone, and it has their number on there that can hold credit card or whatever you want. But again, anyone in the state of Texas can use this service. It's free. We're open 24/7, 365.
Okay, before we go on, I just want to share a personal experience. Have you ever had a situation in your home, if you've got kids, you probably know where I'm going with this. You think it's going to be a normal night, and we have a son that just graduated from Lone Star, so it's not just little kids. Have you ever had them come into your room and say, Dad, I need to talk to you? Okay. I always brace myself. Well, that particular night, he had some problems going on. And so I wasn't going to be able to take him, but my wife and he were getting ready to go to the emergency room. And I don't know if it's a universal law or not, but in our household, when Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Donna does, that's about the last place Donna wants to go, is to an ER. And then I remembered, and Lynn Ann, I thought of her and she had angel's wings. Well, you know, she was floating above. Remember? And I said, oh, let's try this. So we called and we got in touch with a lady named Carol Matsumoto, who was just absolutely fantastic. She took about 30, 45 minutes with us. I can't tell you how much I really appreciated that, because it helped our family so much. And she was able to tell us, well, you just go to the doctor the next day, you should be just fine. And Mama was a lot happier. So thank you all very much. This is a great service. We appreciate it. So, okay, so have you all happened to notice anything going on? I guess it's that way over there now, right? Thank you. I saw it going over there. It's called Generation Park. Well, a lot of you that are familiar with this area, 20 years ago, maybe 25, there wasn't anything out here. It's really changed a lot, hasn't it? It sure has. So we're so excited today because we have a good friend coming up. His name is Ian Adler. He's the marketing director for McCord Development, and he can also hit the golf ball a long way. So come on up. If y'all are, give him a round of applause, please.
Thanks, Ron. I might be able to hit a long ways, but it doesn't really go straight, so I'm not sure how much that helps. So I'm going to talk to you guys today about what we have going on, some updates on development, some updates on leasing activity and availability, as well as some new stuff you might not have seen before. Are you guys all familiar with Generation Park? All right, good. So I'll skip to the next slide. So you guys, we are here. I put these in because last time I don't think anyone knew where I was talking about on the map. The first thing I want to talk about is the Lockwood Business Park. It's a 25-acre development that we just started probably in May. Actually, March we started clearing the site. We started construction in May. We're going to go vertical pretty soon. But we won a 143,000 square foot tenant. This is a national company. I can't announce who it is yet. That will be soon. I know we have media here, so I got to be careful what I say. But they're consolidating 4 facilities and their headquarters to Generation Park. So that's a big win for us and the community. It means a lot more visitors are coming out to our part of the town. And with this, we're also going to be bringing 3 new buildings as well, some spec buildings. 2 57,500 square footers and a 44,500 square footer. This is good for people that have light manufacturing, distribution. They want to start up their own company. It's good, efficient space for that. So if you're interested, if you're interested in any of this stuff, just see me afterwards. We can chat. The next thing I want to talk about is Redemption Square. This is what you're seeing going up just south of us right here, just off the Beltway. This is our 52-acre mixed-use lifestyle district and kind of corporate campus, if you will. We're developing this as part of our deal with Technique FMC, which is how we got them to come out here. But we're doing this as an amenity for all the businesses in the Lake Houston area and also that relocate to our development. So the first thing I want to talk about is 250 Assay, which is right here on the map. So we're up here on this corner where the Redemption Square is right now. This is our first office building and the parking garage right here, which you'll see going vertical right now. We expect to finish construction of the actual building itself around the end of the month. We'll be moving in at the end of July. Apache Industrial Services will be moving in, I think in September, once they finish their build out of their space. But to give you an idea, this is what it looks like. This is from Monday, between rainstorms. So it's a little muddy out here at the bottom, but and I have a render of this plaza that we're building out here that I'll show at the end. So four floors of offices above, and we have the entire ground floors. We need restaurants and retailers. So I'm going to show you guys some of the space. This is the third floor. This is an office suite that's currently available. It's about 9,500 square feet. It overlooks the plaza. It's got a beautiful view of the Techniques campus and the Beltway and all that kind of stuff. And then this is the Jewel Box restaurant space. So if I go back a couple, this is over here. It's about 7,700 square feet. And it's got 20-foot ceilings. It's really probably going to be what I think is the nicest restaurant space in all of Houston. Forget about just Lake Houston, all of Houston. I mean, there's not many places like this in the market. Next thing I want to talk about is 255 Assay, which is literally across the street. So we were just talking about this building right across the street. And the plaza is 255 Assay Street, which is our luxury apartment building. It is garage parked, which doesn't exist out here in the Lake Houston market. Most apartments out here, or all of them at least, that I know of, are garden style, which is you park out front or you park in a garage outside. We're doing a little bit differently, a little more urban, and we're putting the garage right in the middle of the building. This is what it's going to look like. We expect to break ground this summer. We're shooting for July, and maybe a little later. It depends on timing of a few things. But what's cool about this is this whole side right here, which faces 250 Assay and the plaza, is retail. So that's going to be services, whether it's nail salons, hair salons, or nice restaurants, cafes, coffee shops. That's what we're putting in there. We expect to open the space over there at the end of next year, probably around November. And we'll also start leasing the apartments, the first phase of apartments, late summer for end of the year occupancy. Next I want to talk about is the Courtyard Marriott. This will also be breaking ground this summer. So again, this is all our first phase of development, right next to the office building, right across the street from the apartments. This is the latest render I've seen of it. It's changing a little bit, but as you can see, it's a very nice high-end Courtyard Marriott. But we're doing some change to the design, like these balconies are actually be split. But this is all bringing the density to Lake Houston and the development that we're working on right now. And the last thing I want to talk about is the plaza. So this is kind of the center of energy for our first phase. And let's see if I can render. So this is the latest drawing I've seen. This actually doesn't exist anymore. But we're going to have a little stage here right in front of the restaurants for all sorts of fun programming, whether it's concerts in the summer, whether it's movie nights in the park, bingo in the park, yoga on the weekends, you name it. We're going to have lots of fun out here. We hope the community comes out to enjoy it with us. And that's kind of what we got going on. Any questions, feel free to ask. I'm available. If you have any questions now, it's fine too. I don't know how much time I have. I just kind of look through that. Any questions? All good? All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay, we appreciate him coming out. Thank you very much, and you all have been fairly busy. So one of the things before we go on to the next subject, I wanted to explain how the end of this meeting will work. When we get toward the end of the last one, in the past we've had people, we've gone around the room and let people stand up and talk about what they do for 30 seconds or so. We're doing it differently. We did this actually by accident last time and it worked great. If you want to say something about it, just come up and we'll give you 30 seconds of time. After 30 seconds, we may yank you off the stage. But other than that, you're able to talk. So if you don't want to, you don't have to. At noon, if you want to go, or you need to, please just exit. And then if you want to talk with people outside, please do that. But we're going to have people just come right up at that point. So there's some people I want to recognize first of all. One of the key elements for this group is our advisory board. If you're with the Summer Creek BizCom advisory boards, please raise your hand, please. All right, great. We appreciate, give them a round of applause. And one of the things that they do a terrific job is bringing information to our meetings so we can make good decisions on that. And we're excited because Garth Hinches and also Haley Merrill are new to our board, and we're looking forward to hearing what they have to say. By the way, if you end up having things that you want to hear about, please let us know, because we meet about 6 to 8 weeks before each meeting, and we actually plan these meetings about 2 to 3 times down the road, so that would be helpful. Also, Chamber of Commerce. How could we do without the Chamber of Commerce in Johnston? You do a fantastic job. We really appreciate it. And then also Sam Schrade. Sam right here. He does a fantastic job. And then Van, where is Van? Does Van have to, oh, Van, thank you very much. We appreciate you too. Give him a round of applause. Okay. So the next person that we've got is a good friend of the community also. She does so much from the business standpoint and also personally. But we were having a conversation. You never know when you have a conversation with me if you might not end up here. So she was talking about some things I found very interesting. Please give Shanna Lopez a round of applause.
Hi, everyone. I'm sure that most of you see this, recycle often, recycle right. I hope that if you listen to the presentation, if you're not recycling something now, maybe it'll get you into the gear, whether it's at home, a business. And this applies to whether you're a customer of Waste Management or you're a customer of another vendor. Recycling pretty much has the same standards, whoever you're using for the provider. So what makes something recyclable? It's a question we get asked all the time. Can this be recycled? Can that be recycled? And so we found our customers are confused. So from, pick up at your home, you have a cart these days, most of the time it's on wheels, you put the materials in there, you kind of don't think about it, plastic bottles, things like that. What makes it recyclable? So some of the things that we've seen is residents are, they see this recycle symbol on it and automatically think, oh, it can be recycled, right? Well, at the end of the day, it has to have an end market that someone's going to purchase that material to make it into new material. So that's really what makes it recyclable. If you've seen the containers now, baby food, when my children were younger, it was all jars. Now they're in pouches. So I get asked, can these pouches be recycled? Well, right now those pouches don't have an end market, so no, they cannot be recycled. So it's things like that that are changing and evolving that it's making us have to think, how do we recycle stuff? Where are those end markets? So the next is, as it evolves, how do we keep up with this evolution? How do we let people like you know what you're buying from the grocery stores can be recycled? Because what we're hearing is 20% of the people don't know if something is recycled or recyclable. We did some surveys and gave materials to folks and said, do you think this can be recycled? Put it in this container or put it in that container if it's garbage. 65% of those folks got it wrong. So that makes us think we need to go back to our consumers, our customers, and educate to let you know what's being recycled